is 2.
You know, if it would match well with the size of racetrack, but it's going to be a pretty good show.
All right, one of the legends of the sport, looking ahead to the future of NASCAR.
We're very professional right now.
In the last episode of this series, I talked about the
working out the kinks.
Hey race fans, Alex Weaver here out at Bowman Gray in Winston-Salem.
I'd never been to. I mean, I've heard about this place, wanted to come up here, and it's only a 45-minute drive from the house, and I've never seen it.
Right.
So this was such a great opportunity.
It's weird to troubleshoot it with the delay. Can you still hear me, Daniel?
I'm actually surprised by that, but let's hear the surprises inside of the car, because next gen car, this is what we're going to see for 2022. What'd you feel when you were inside?
It does everything better. You know, I drove the car around the track, and it brakes. The braking performance is going to take some time for me to get used to. Does everything much better, more drive off.
It was working.
Put one of the current cars out on this racetrack, you'd never be able to get the power down, and this thing just hunkers and goes.
So that is
A lot of changes for the sport. A big change here in the next gen, but also a change in the schedule. We're going to start with the Clash at the LA Coliseum. This is what Bowman Gray is prepping us for. 20 plus cars on this size racetrack. How crazy is that going to be?
It's going to be crazy, and it's going to
So
work. You know, I was a little worried about the size of the track, and we've never seen our product recently, anyways, on a track that small. So, having driven the car around here and walked around this racetrack, it's gonna be plenty of room. All those worries that I had are for no good reason. So, I'm excited about it. It's gonna be physical, and I think that's
a lot of bumping.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody expects. So the drivers know that going in, and we're gonna give the West Coast a taste of some good short track racing and. NASCAR style. This next gen car, it does everything really good on a track like this. I didn't know if it would work, if it would match well with the size of racetrack, but it's going to be a pretty good show.
All right, one of the legends of the sport, looking ahead to the future of NASCAR.
In the last episode of this series,
hey race fans, Alex Weaver here out at Bowman Gray in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I found
It's interesting to try and troubleshoot this with
we can't keep out of a race car.
stuff going on.
Well, I got an opportunity to come over here today and drive the next gen car at a racetrack that I'd never been to. I mean, I've heard about this place, wanted to come up here, and it's only a 45-minute drive from the house, and I've never seen it. So this was such a great opportunity for me to do a lot of things, check a lot of boxes today.
I'm actually surprised by
So
that.
we have.
Let's hear the surprises inside of the car, because next gen car, this is what we're going to see for 2022. What'd you feel when you were inside?
It does everything better. You know, I drove the car around the track, and it brakes. The braking performance.
Hear audio coming through, but it is really low.
Mine is?
No, your audio, the coming through.
This is going to take some time for me to get used to, or any of these guys.
Mine is?
No, the let's see how that worked.
This is going to take some time for me to get used to.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Let's see how that worked.
Testing,
Guys to get used to. That was probably the one thing that I found myself.
Let's see how that worked.
Testing.
Guys to get used to. That was probably the one thing that I found myself.
Let's see how that worked. Okay, I think we have audio now.
Sam, are you there? Can you hear us?
I'm gonna send a message to make Kelly help us. All right. Well, ask Kelly if she can hear us, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So
are you going to be recording this to be a podcast episode, or?
I think for this, this is just a practice session. See if we can talk anyone to come in. Hey, we got 3 people watching. I'm sure one of them is me and one of them is my wife. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah.
We lost one.
That was probably me.
Money, money, money. Money.
All right. So I'm gonna put this on over here so I can possibly monitor things. Okay, she just responded, so she can hear me. All right, so I think we're good.
You can hear us?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tweet this out and see what happens. All right, Sam says we're good.
Cool. So we're... Can't broadcast it, but we'll throw up...
Wait, that's the link?
What is...
Huh.
What's the
That looks
qualifying
weird.
on?
Box. Big box. Okay, that does not work. What the heck?
The question. Did you hit?
Do you have... Shit.
So it's on like Broadcast Fox?
Yeah.
Not here. We have the PC.
Well, it hasn't started yet. It starts at 7:30.
Yeah, but I don't have that on lineup on Hulu. It's PCB Fight Night and The Cleaning Lady.
Let's see. What is... I guess... Crap. I guess I gotta...
What's wrong?
Well, I got the stream URL and pasted it in a tweet, and it didn't work. So...
If you just do...
I send a DM to myself. I don't think I can. Hold on. Okay.
You're doing this to me.
All right. It's been tweeted out. So, okay. We got 4 concurrent viewers. So, all right. So
We're finally live. It was a complicated thing, more so than it probably should have been.
But hey, it's a exhibition effort for an exhibition event. How about that? So Crow. To anyone who's currently watching, welcome to our first live streaming effort of Dropping the Hammer with Daniel McFadden. I'm Daniel McFadden, NASCAR writer, former journalist at NBCSports.com, current writer for FrenchRich.com/speedsport, and both website and magazine. And tonight, it's 7:30 p.m. The Busch Clash qualifying is about to get going. I got YouTube TV up, going to watch. My good friend Crow, James Crow, but we just call him Crow, is here. We're just gonna hang out, catch up with each other, and talk NASCAR and see how this goes.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to figure out how to view it, because apparently on my local Fox they're not showing it. Oh, it's on Fox Sports 1. Okay, that was the.
Yeah, it's not Fox Sports 1. It's on the main.
Well, you said the main Fox, so I was like, "Whoa!" I'm shocked that they're playing it on. Yeah, I'm shocked they're playing it on Fox broadcast, but I guess they trying to invest in the future or whatever, try to build up that NASCAR audience.
It's a big event. They're racing in a football stadium, Crow.
Coming to the Coliseum, America's best drivers. This is qualifying.
Wait, no, it's not. So I'm sorry. It is not on Fox. That's my bad. It is on FS1. Tomorrow night, it's on Fox. The actual main race is on Fox, but qualifying is on FS1. My bad.
So cool. So I now have it up because have it on the right channel. I'm not going to show it on the stream because that will get the stream kicked off. But we can talk about it while you guys watch it, and you can chat. If you're one of our friends of the show, let us know. We can send you a Zoom link, and we can have you on and chat, and you can give us your opinions on things that are good or bad. All right.
All right. Yeah. They are live at the track right now. So I'm guessing you didn't get a chance to. Oh, then they got the Olympic flame going. That's cool. Did you get a chance to watch practice earlier today?
I did not.
So it was probably the most anticipated practice session since Bristol Dirt last year. Before that, the first practice session on the Charlotte Roval, but nothing bad happened. No wrecks. The only bad thing was Cody Ware stalled on the track for some reason. And towards the end of one session, Chase Briscoe, who finished in the top 3 in speeds, also had a minor mechanical failure. But other than that, the practice for the first Busch Clash at the LA Coliseum went off without a hitch. But it was so weird to see drivers not even
NASCAR's
basically not going faster than maybe 75 miles per hour on a quarter-mile track in a football stadium. Which this is the first time NASCAR's been on a quarter-mile track, or the NASCAR Cup Series anyway, has been on a quarter-mile track since 1971. It's a track that's inspired by Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It doesn't look 100% like it, but they're inspired by it.
Is that part of why they went to go test there?
Yeah. Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, and Clint Boyer got some laps in the next gen car. They are back in October, I want to say. But yeah, now they're doing the real thing. So we got. They're at commercial now. So if you're watching, it says we got 5 concurrent viewers. Say something in the chat. Let us know what's up.
Yeah, we are.
How excited are you for the Busch Clash tomorrow night on Fox? 150 laps around for the main event. Anyway, you got heat races and then last chance qualifiers. This is definitely an old school format and a new school event. Go Sports. Hey Kelly, how are you? We got a new subscriber, Rolando Castro. Thank you for subscribing, Rolando, if you are listening right now.
Cool. So let me ask you this, Daniel, since they're basically building a track, like how are they actually building a racetrack? Like what is the surface that they're racing on?
It's just asphalt. It's a temporary track that they put down asphalt. They got their safer barriers from Auto Club Speedway, which is in Fontana, which is less than an hour away from this track. The catch fencing is from actually, I'm pretty sure it's Bobby Allison, Sam. Bobby Allison won the final race at Bowman Gray. I'm pretty sure I saw that earlier today. But I think I know what you're talking about. That there is a dispute about that. But anyway, going back to what I was talking about, the catch fencing at the track, that's taken from the Long Beach Grand Prix, which is also in California. But yeah, it's normal asphalt to put down on a temporary basis, safer barrier, and catch fence, and there you go. This is what you got. All right, and Kurt Busch, the first qualifier, is on the track.
All right, so qualifying is now underway. So see Kurt Busch. So what's
Rolando,
going on?
hi from Venezuela. That's awesome. What brings you into our chat or stream, Rolando? Here goes Corey LaJoy. Corey LaJoy said earlier this week that he thinks this is the most even NASCAR race maybe in NASCAR's history. And you kind of saw what otherwise would be anomalies in practice with the likes of Cody Ware flirting with the top 10 in practice. And also Ryan Preece, who's racing for Rick Ware Racing this weekend, also up there in the top 10. Kurt Busch's first time was 14.43 seconds. LaJoy, 14.5.
So what is what are the important things we need to know for Clash? Like what's I know it's limited field. How many drivers is it?
Well, every team with a charter is required to be at this track, this race. So there's 36 teams there. But through the heat races and last chance qualifier races, it's going to get whittled down to 23. So for the 150 lap main event tomorrow night, it'll be 23 cars on a quarter-mile track. So I believe this is Ryan Preece going right now. He's smoking that left front.
Well, that doesn't look good.
He is locking him up.
Yeah, he did.
He is really forcing it. And he's P1. 14.2 seconds. The top speed in practice was Chase Elliott at like 13.5 seconds. So this is going to go by fast.
Yeah. Only when you're running like it was 40-second laps, and everyone's lined up. So
Yeah.
figure we while this is going, we can look at some of the paint schemes, the new paint schemes for the Clash.
Yeah. Well, not just the Clash, the entire season. You got the numbers moved forward now to give teams most financial or sponsors most bang for their marketing buck. Though a team like William Byron on number 24, Valvoline, doesn't seem to care. The numbers moved forward, but there's nothing filling in that space, which is hilarious.
I like the number position. I know that's a controversial take, but
Well, my opinion was if you're going to move it, they should have moved it backwards. I liked it being against the rear wheel, because I think with paint schemes that allows you a better way to frame the number, having it against the back. But no one listened to me. So. Sam, what do you think of this? You there?
we are very washed out on YouTube for some reason.
Say what?
I made the mistake of looking at YouTube and realized like our stream is very washed out. That's an interesting change.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's just very like desaturated and stuff. So here, let's go through this. So we have the Busch number 4.
Yes, the people at Busch Light are really good at their marketing when it comes to this sport. They have great paint schemes, and that was a great use of space, doing the whole Busch thing. So great paint scheme.
Yeah.
The Cascadia scheme for Austin Cindric.
Kicking off the sponsors where I don't know what it is.
Electric 18-wheelers. That's the Tron. That's the Tron car. Crow.
The Auto Trader logo is has nice placement there. And then like at the end, it's just Menards is just slapped on there in the back. It's like Menards.
But no, that Cascadia.
Yeah.
That was my favorite paint scheme from last year. And it is now officially called the Tron car.
Yeah. The True Velocity is our generic modern sports design element car.
Did talk about the number 3?
Yeah, number 3.
Yeah, forgettable.
Yeah. There's Busch again.
Yep.
HendrickCars.com, the defending champions paint scheme is basically
exactly the same as last year,
exactly the same with the 5 move forward. Which, it still feels weird. Like it's weird that so many sponsors now are basically just they're billboards for the team owner. So it's like Hendrick Cars,
well,
and like Hendrick has said,
this is really the only case of that.
Well, no, was it Busch 2311? They're going to be doing Jordan brand.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I'll say this number 6,
Almendinger P1,
the violent
BJ McLeod P2.
Yeah.
Holy. Wow.
But this Violet Defense, don't know what it is, but this car looks really good, and I saw it on the track a minute ago, on pit road, and it looked really good under the lights.
Yeah, you're not. It's gonna be easy to find that car in a field.
Nations Guard, lots of shield imagery in the paint schemes and the sponsors this year.
Corey LaJoy.
This one feels like a discount now. Like this feels like you go to the dollar store and get to the things that are like the knockoff Hot Wheels. That's what this one looks like. It's like a knockoff NASCAR paint scheme. Guaranteed rate.
Yeah, guaranteed rate. They sponsored Ryan Newman at Roush Fenway the last couple of years, and now they are with Tyler Reddick and RCR.
We have the classic Napa sponsorship. It looks like a Napa car, like every Napa car for the last 20 years, just with a different number placement. Ooh, who's this up here?
Typically, Napa has good paint schemes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good one. You don't need to change it, but it's still, basically the same color scheme that we've had for, since Micro Ultra. We got Farmer John, and now we're getting into like the class. Like I guess this is like a classic NASCAR paint scheme. Like there's no like crazy lines going around except a little bit, but it's not too.
I really like the Denny Hamlin FedEx scheme. That's really clean. Yeah, they have it figured out.
Yeah, I would say I've said this before on the podcast and everything, but the like FedEx is like the one brand that I associate with NASCAR, so it's probably a good thing they're not changing it too much.
Well, it's right now it's one of the longest running. They've been in NASCAR since basically I want to say 04 or 05. It didn't come in with Denny Hamlin. Jason Leffler was in that FedEx car first, but yeah. And up until last year, FedEx had every single race on the 11 car. But then OfferPad took up some races last year. Wait, Landon Castle went P1? Wow. He's now going to be racing full-time with Colleague Racing, which is the absolute best opportunity he's basically had in 10 years. And over 10 years. So he's playing with house money right now with Colleague, which I really like. The Colleague Racing is kind of becoming this team for people getting second chances or third or fourth. with specifically AJ Allmendinger, he's found new life there. Jeb Burton got his second NASCAR win there last year. And now you got Daniel Hemrick, who's coming off his Xfinity Series title there, and Landon Castle. So yeah, if you told me like 3 years ago Landon Castle would have this opportunity, I wouldn't have believed you. But yeah, whatever Colleague's doing under that roof in Welcome, North Carolina, on the RCR campus, it's working. So it's gonna be really they are the stacked team this year. But okay, now we're on the Ryan Blaney paint scheme.
Yeah.
Which is just the normal Menards game. Nothing new here. They just moved everything forward. So again, another paint scheme that you will not have a hard time finding in the field.
Oh. Post one somewhere else.
Wow, Castle P1, Allmendinger 2, McLeod. This is insane. Priest 4th, Todd Gillen 5th, LaJoy. Again, like this, I mean, we're only 9 cars in. We still got a ways to go, but Kurt Busch is 7th, so that's surprising.
So is this race, so you said they're going to whittle the field down. Does that mean that this race is going to be like potentially like, is there anyone guaranteed to get into the race, or is this
just Kyle Larson?
Just Kyle
defending
Larson.
champion is the only person guaranteed. So this is just qualifying for the heat races, technically. And wait, who's this?
It's the Violet Defense.
Oh, Kozlowski. This is Kozlowski. All right.
Yeah, that car definitely looks good. Man, that's a great paint scheme.
6. All right, so the 2 heaviest hitters so far have been Kozlowski and Kurt Busch, and they're 6th and 8th. So we are in completely uncharted territory right now.
Yeah, So who do you like? What is your kind of expectations on this now that we're seeing?
I think all expectations have to be tempered just based off qualifying right now. But while the cars might not be going fast, that's not going to matter tomorrow. Every driver wants to be in this event, and they all want to win. I think it's going to be just wild. Custer. But it's just so.
Oh, wow.
Like I just published a. Oh wow! All right.
The guy with the coolest name in NASCAR, coming up first.
The Colonel.
Hey, first one to break 14. He's at 13.95. That one's good.
Well, like Chase Elliott had the P1 time in practice. He was 13.5, so it's gonna get there.
Yeah.
Should get there, even though it's cooler temperatures.
Yeah. Is this just single lap qualifying?
I think so.
Justin Haley, man, the right now the names on the board at the top of the board are like the opposite of who I would expect, or at least that it's the lesser named people.
But like I was saying earlier, Corey LaJoie said this week that combining the new next gen car with this new track that no one's been on before, he thinks this is going to be the most even going into a NASCAR race ever. We got a rookie P1 right now, Custer second, Castle third. Yeah, this is. Kevin Harvick said earlier today that just based off practice, whatever actually happens in the race tomorrow doesn't matter. This event is already a success, and I have a hard time disagreeing with him because they're proving that this. I mean, it's going to be different when you get 23 cars out there at once, but the hype around this is just incredible. So, I encourage anyone listening, go to frontstretch.com and check out the column I published today about this race, and just how it's very surreal that it's a reality.
So here, go back to the paint schemes. While is this.
Orlando, it'll be total chaos tomorrow with lap cars.
Who's this running? Is this the same one? Yeah, we got
Briscoe.
We got Briscoe's paint scheme up right now. It's decent.
That's a new sponsor to NASCAR, and they're going to be on the majority of the races this year for them.
That's nice. Ooh. Yeah, that's a good. I like that paint.
Yeah, Rolando. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly the leader catches up with the tail end of the field tomorrow.
So Allmendinger here, I liked it better in person, but man, this side shot makes it look terrible.
Yeah. But it's still kind of like the Ryan Blaney scheme. You'll be able to see it easily. So
I'm gonna.
Then you got the Chris Buescher paint scheme, which is just last year's Fastenal scheme, but everything just moved forward.
Yeah. They have a nice little texture on the back. A little hex pattern's nice. Oh, the M&Ms, Daniel.
And this is the last year for M&Ms. Mars Corporation is leaving NASCAR after this season. And they've been with NASCAR since 1996 with Skittles and the Derek Cope car.
Man, that's a big one to lose. That's up there with losing like Pepsi.
Well, yeah, and Pepsi's gone.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about Pepsi being gone because they are definitely a brand that I very much associate with NASCAR. They were heavy in the 2000s and late 90s.
But like I said, like they've been there since '96. It's 26 years. Like at some point though, it's like
My wife
Stenhouse
said,
third.
I wouldn't want to have a drink with that M&M. We're going to avoid politics, Kelly. The wall's up.
Yeah, Bubba, he was on the tail end of practice speeds, but he said in his media availability that the adjustments that they wanted to make the car, they wouldn't have been able to make in time to make the other two practice rounds that they were part of. So, and there he goes, P5. So, all right.
Yeah, not too bad.
That's a beautiful shot. Damn. Frito-Lay? Sam? Like, when was the last time Frito-Lay sponsored a car? I had a brief 5-minute interview with Daniel Suarez earlier today in the middle of this, whatever you want to call it, chaotic day. It was not the best interview I've ever done. I wouldn't expect anyone to ever give a good 5-minute interview over the phone.
So how does that work with an interview like that? Is it do you just like send a message and like, hey, let's do an interview?
Well, no, actually, I mean, it was gonna be for Speed Sport, and Speed Sport got an email from his sponsor, Freeway Insurance. Hey, want to talk to Daniel Suarez? We're like, sure. He goes P2. And then they scheduled it for today, after practice and after the general media availability. And I got a text message saying, hey, time allowing, Daniel will call from this number. I was like, okay. Then he called, and I tried to ask all the relevant questions I could in 5 minutes, but it just wasn't a great interview. So, but that's not to disparage anyone, but it's just.
I mean, it's a busy.
A 5-minute interview is just not great over the phone.
Yeah, it's like trying to call someone like in the middle of their day and like try to do an interview, and they're just like trying to get home.
Yeah, it was weird that they scheduled it for this afternoon. It was really, really weird.
All right, so my wife Kelly here asked, if you were a NASCAR
Hi,
driver,
Aaron.
who would be your dream sponsor?
Probably Skittles. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what makes good. Valvoline. Let's just go with Valvoline, because Valvoline very rarely has bad paint schemes.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm thinking like, what swag do I want? Like what what company do I want to represent so that I just get all the free stuff? Man,
Busch Lights is Aaron.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, you want the free beer, right? Yeah, I can get that. Yeah.
I guess I've got to go with, like, I know you said Pepsi, like PepsiCo's out, but like I think that like if I was a NASCAR driver, like the amount of Diet Mountain Dew I consume is enough justification for them to sponsor me. And so,
and the Dale Jr. Dale Jr. had the Mountain Dew sponsorship for years, and for multiple years he had a diet. The main sponsor he had when they were on the car was Diet Mountain Dew. For some reason, they were just pushing that Diet Mountain Dew hard.
It is like I am of the opinion that Diet Mountain Dew is superior to normal Mountain Dew. Like definitely it's a different thing, but it's not as acidic. It's not as sweet, obviously, as Diet. I'm a fan. It is my preferred method of caffeine intake as a non-coffee drinker. Plus, and I will say, and as Kelly pointed out, green, good color. They have always had crazy paint schemes, just color everywhere. It's like the embodiment of like extreme. So you can do some cool stuff with that. See, now we're back at commercials. So Martin Truex Jr. with the Bass Pro Shops. They really need the pyramid on there, but otherwise it's the standard Bass Pro Shop. Like Bass Pro needs to celebrate the fact that they are literally they literally own one of the wonders of the world.
Yeah.
The modern world with the Memphis Pyramid. That needs to be. They need to change out their circle with a triangle.
Well, Aaron asks if you could take over driver's seat for one race, what track? Darlington. Well, if I have a competent ability in the cockpit, Darlington. So, that's my favorite track on NASCAR video games. That's the track I go to troubleshoot new games, and it's just a fun but also difficult, challenging track. So Darlington.
See, any track, if it's any track period, that's tough. Probably Laguna Seca, but if it's a NASCAR track, whatever it's called now used to be called Sears Point when I used to play
Sonoma.
NASCAR.
Sonoma.
Yeah, Sonoma. Yeah, so whenever I used to play NASCAR 99, it's all day that road course, and so that one's my favorite. I love the hairpin turn. I love the pretty much the whole track. So that was definitely my favorite. Except I love Laguna Seca a little bit more. That's my go-to on every other racing game that has it.
It's the corkscrew.
Yeah, corkscrew. It's so hard, and I just spend the whole time trying to not wreck on the corkscrew. Man, I try to do. So I bought. It's been a while. I haven't got to use it a lot, but I got a steering wheel for sim driving, and I had accidentally had the force feedback turned up way too high. Tried to do that on a game, and it just about broke my wrist. Oh man!
I played one of the recent Gran Turismo games. I raced around Laguna Seca a little bit, but yeah, back in the '90s on the Papyrus IndyCar game, Laguna Seca was my go-to track.
Yeah. So Aaron, what would your dream track to race on be if you were got put in a car? Sam says Road America. That's a good one too. I feel like if I'm going to do that, I really would like to do Road America more in a non-NASCAR, especially a not open wheel, but a
sports car.
I'm thinking a kit car, so I've been looking a lot into these. I've always been a fan of the Aero Atom, which is this open cockpit type car, and there's a couple of kit cars that let you do that. And I think something like that would be super fun.
Welcome to the party, Steven. How's it going?
Cool. So Aaron said Charlotte. That's a good one too. I used to really race in the NASCAR games. Used to race on Charlotte a lot too.
Well, it's weird because in real life, Charlotte, in its current form, where the pavement just is not aging, and also really with the up until this year, the 550 package, Charlotte sucked. But it's my favorite 1-point intermediate oval to go to on NASCAR video games. It's fun. It's fun in the games, but it's been terrible to watch in reality.
Yeah.
I've not done Long Beach on a sim since the 90s.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna talk about oval tracks, let's see, I would Talladega. I think it'd have to be Talladega if it's an oval track. be terrifying. I would die, but I don't know. It's just fun to just point your car in a direction, press the accelerator down, try not to die. That's what it would be for Talladega.
Rookie Harrison Burton, P5. Harrison was the first car on the track to christen the track this morning in practice.
I missed where Larson ended up, or is he just not on the column?
I think he did I don't know what happened.
Yeah, maybe he just did a lap, but they're not counting it because he's in there by default. So who would you be surprised not to make it into the race tomorrow?
Someone like Harvick, Kyle Busch. Basically, if you were in the top 10 of practice, I'd be surprised.
So let's see who. So Keselowski is the lowest, or no, Kurt Busch is 17th right now. So what do you think? Is he going to hold on, or is he pretty much going to be out? Because I think he's probably the biggest.
18th now.
Biggest.
Yeah, he's going to have a hard time depending on where he starts in his heat race.
Yes.
And then you get the last chance qualifier. But yeah, that would be surprising. He just got announced as being a Jordan brand athlete. So,
look who's in number 8.
Our boy Michael McDowell defending Daytona 500.
He got it. Hey, he broke 14. Man,
he thinks that McDowell, he has a history in sports cars, and this new next gen car takes a lot of characteristics from sports cars, and he thinks he can benefit from that. So, though we shouldn't pass judgment on one qualifying session.
Yeah.
But this is just bizarre. Just look at we're 20 cars in out of 36, so we got 16 left, and that's just a bizarre rundown right now.
Yeah. Here, let's look at. He said, Aaron says Harvick. So I definitely could see Harvick having trouble here.
He was second in practice.
Yeah, I haven't been watching practice, so I am out of the loop when that kind of stuff goes. I you know more than I do, but I could definitely see him being I don't know, for some reason I can just see him choking a little bit here, but we'll see. Graphics package is nice.
Yeah, it is different. The graphics are now tailored to each driver / car, which is color wise anyway.
Yeah. So we got 48, the Ally car going around.
Ally has really, really kicked it into gear when it comes to paint schemes.
Yeah.
Their first year in the sport with Jimmy Johnson, their default paint scheme just wasn't really memorable. But after that, they've been just absolutely nailing it. And they've nailed it with this game. It's really good.
Is Ally the is that an insurance thing, or is that the Ally the weight loss supplement?
It's Ally Financial.
Okay.
It's financial service. They used to be GMAC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which was a NASCAR sponsor.
There used to be a supplement called Ally that used to be. I always remember it when you go into Walmart, it was always right there by the checkout in its big display, and
Bowman 7th.
And it had the same problem that the WoW chips had. If you remember that, Daniel.
The what chips?
You remember the WoW chips that they cooked using Alestra that were like fat free, like because your body couldn't digest it and it caused everyone to have like uncontrollable diarrhea.
No.
Well, that was a
Wow
thing that
chips, yeah, never-
happened. Probably related to why Frito-Lay is no longer a NASCAR sponsor. I'm surprised because I'm pretty sure that they had WoW chip sponsorships back in the day. But no, the Ally weight loss supplement was always had
right.
similar issues.
Tyler Reddick is now P1.
Nice.
This is an important year for Tyler Reddick, in my opinion. This is his third year of the guys who came into the guys who were in his rookie class. Cole Custer, Christopher Bell, he's the only one that doesn't have a win. He's shown flashes of brilliance. He's a wheelman. But RCR hasn't been a top tier team for a long time. But hopefully with this next gen car, Reddick can really show off what he can do, and get to victory lane, because he is fun to watch.
Now that we're back at commercial. So paint schemes, Sirius XM, basic.
Yeah. Wood Brothers, it's the same paint scheme, but everything.
We have one paint scheme.
It's a timeless paint scheme. It's timeless.
Yeah. Same with the Logano's, Pennzoil.
That's actually new. They got rid of the scallops.
Yeah, you're right.
So they'd had those for more than a decade. I'm glad they finally got rid of them. That's very clean, good scheme. The Bubba Wallace scheme, it's kind of a combination of their main DoorDash scheme from last year, but the hood area, because there was one race last year, I think it was Martinsville in the spring, where they reversed it and it was mainly white. And that's what they've done with the hood area. So it's like they've combined those two schemes. It's okay. I liked the red hood with the black DoorDash logo on the hood more, rather than white with red.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the Valvoline scheme.
This is destroying my brain.
Like the NASCAR's intent with the whole numbers moving forward to give sponsors more value, and Valvoline's like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. But even more so, it's Valvoline on the number 24.
Yes,
my brain cannot accept this. This is like disorienting. This is like a glitch in the Matrix, like happening.
Absolutely.
It is brain breaking, and they keep the yellow for the 24 too, which is crazy.
Yeah, when they first had this game, I don't remember what race it was, but when I first saw Valvoline on the 24 car last year, it was like 1998 me wanted to cry. It's like this would be like imagine like if Goodwrench were on the 24 car. That's what that's like. It's like that's an abomination.
No, this is if Kellogg sponsored the number 3.
Yeah, that's similar, but
well, see, to me personally, Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin, were the rivals. Now it's a lot more intense because Gordon was my favorite driver, and I grew up, 45 minutes away from Batesville, Arkansas. So the importance of those things are a lot higher. But yeah, to me, it's weird. So McDowell's new paint scheme.
So it's just the normal paint scheme.
Yeah. We got Todd Gillard's first phase card.com. It's okay. Too dark.
Cole Custer's is just last year's scheme, just moved forward. So
Black Rifle
it's
Coffee
weird
Company.
how some teams and sponsors understood the assignment, and
Yeah.
others were just like, whatever.
Black Rifle Coffee Company, because coffee, but manlier.
But America.
It's okay. I haven't seen it in person. Like here's our Valvoline car going for qualifying. It looks okay. It's still weird. Like 24, just like that's the part that breaks my brain. Is the 24 on there?
I wish NASCAR could have made it optional, moving the number. Like,
How great. Now it would be even crazier, but I think better and easier for me to take if the 24 was styled like the Mark Martin 6.
that would be something. Reddick's 13.7.
And it's crazy that our qualifying is all like, it's
Here we go,
separated
Kyle
by
Busch.
so little. I'm honestly surprised they're doing single lap qualifying for this track. I would think that they would do like a 2-lap thing.
Yeah, make it last longer. just a little bit longer.
Yeah. I just feel like when you're talking about this small of a track, you're putting too much emphasis on being perfect for one lap. That's a good one.
Eric Kabush, P1. He was briefly P1 in practice. KFB P1. Yeah, that's right, Sam.
That car looks good, man. Like under the lights like that car looks really good. Not like the round M shapes really highlight the roundness of the car. It looks good.
Well, the M&M scheme's never been bad. Like, it's a timeless scheme, really. But
well, looks like our top 10's tracking to be sub 14. So that's not a great sign for most of the people on the bottom.
This is such an eclectic top 10 right now.
Yeah.
Now, how many cars is that? How many are left?
Come on, Blaney.
Young Ryan Blaney. And okay, it's back. Okay.
Yeah, he did it. Saved it. So I guess they're doing 2 laps. But they're taking the best time of the 2, which is okay. I don't know. I still feel like qualifying should be it should be like the total of 2 laps.
Well, so I think it's pretty. When they've done qualifying, it's pretty much always been the best of the 2.
Yeah. I just mean, I don't know. I wish that we had a little bit more less randomness, but I'm always complaining about something with how things are done. I always know better, despite knowing the least amount of the people either streaming or in chat right now. That's a good. That was a big slide there for Cindric.
The LA Coliseum is a very photogenic stadium.
That looks pretty. That car looks pretty decent.
Tron car. Oh, looks like he got slid a little bit maybe.
They're all sliding all over the place, but he definitely is getting the back end kicking out.
Yeah, he was very loose going out.
Busch. Nice little advertisement for them before Harvick takes it around the track.
Oh, locked up, yeah.
Yeah, he's moving. See how this one. So he's tracking. Not great. Well, I believe you may have called it, Aaron.
Oh, wow. Would not have guessed that. But yeah, if he doesn't make it, if him and Kurt Busch don't make it, wow.
Say 25
That's the
cars.
oldest guys. Huh?
25 cars.
23 cars.
23 cars. It's a weirdly specific.
Oh, I mean, 23 is how many are going to be in the main event.
Yeah. Oh, seventh. That's okay. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Harvick. I was expecting, I wasn't, when I said that I wouldn't be surprised if he choked a little bit, I wasn't expecting him to be at the bottom.
Well, he's 20. Well, he's what, 21st out?
Yeah, 21st.
We'll be 36 right now, so.
Oh, Denny. Man, Denny better have his best season this year.
He had his best season 2 years ago.
Well, he had better have a better one this season, man. He's doing. Hopefully, he can win some races and do something a little bit more. Yeah, he had a great season, but that not winning races, I think, it was what did him.
No, he was really consistent last year, but he just couldn't. He didn't. I mean, what was it? He didn't win until Southern 500. So
yeah,
right? Yeah. No. Okay. I think that was the second win. He was 16th.
Do you know how they pick qualifying order for this?
This was just owner points, reverse order.
Okay.
So Kurt Busch went out first because 2311 bought the points from Starcom Racing. They got their charter, so they had the Starcom Racing owners points from last year. So yeah.
Ooh, Martin Truex Jr. is not looking great. that was really bad. It's like I don't know if maybe he was like maybe he was loose and afraid to let the back end kick out, but man, he was definitely not pushing it as hard as I was expecting him to. Here's Larson.
33rd, man.
Yeah, like when he was coming around the corner, he was like completely letting off everything so he wouldn't slide. But the only way that you're going to get in the top, 20 is to be sliding the back end out a little bit.
All right, here he goes. Kyle Larson, defending Cup champion.
And guy who should be doing very well here, theoretically. So,
He lost a
third.
little bit.
Got 8th. It's not too bad. He was trending third very briefly, and then he lost speed in that last corner.
All right, so your 4 pole setters for the heat races tomorrow: Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Justin Haley, and Joey Logano. I definitely wouldn't have picked. Well, he gets the pole for his heat, Sam. So, but I definitely wouldn't have put Justin Haley in that category, especially the guy who's only won. His only NASCAR wins have been on super speedways. So definitely wouldn't have put Haley in that mix, but there he is.
So just from a refresher, what is the format going to be for this race tomorrow?
There's 4 heat races, and there's 2 last chance qualifier races. Those will whittle down 36 cars to 23 for the 150 lap main event. And that 150 lap main event is split into 2 segments, and you can watch Pitbull, Ice Cube perform during the halftime break for a few minutes, and then it'll be a run to the finish.
It's a weird pick for. I get it because it's LA. Still a weird pick.
Pitbull's doing the pre-race concert, and during the cautions, a DJ will perform. Whose name I. Who.
This is some real
NASCAR.
fellow kids stuff.
DJ Clash. DJ Ski.
Some very fellow kids stuff going on, Daniel.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm turning 31 in 2 days, so feeling it. So yeah, qualifying's up. Next stop, heat races tomorrow night. Those heat races begin at 3 Eastern, I believe. And then the main race broadcast starts at 5 on Fox. So the Fox will have like 6 hours of coverage tomorrow. So it'll be a long, hopefully entertaining evening.
Aaron asked about live pit stops. I think
No pit stops.
Yeah, so it's
that break at the halfway mark, and then the main event will be where teams get a chance to tinker on their cars, but no live pit stops.
So if you blow a tire, you just got to leave the track.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically dirt track rules. They won't. I'll say that is a little bit weird because usually they the dirt tracks I've been to, at least, or short tracks I've been to, usually like if you blow a tire or something, you have to leave, but you can re-enter if there's a caution. So, how long are the heat races though?
50 laps.
So
I want to say
that is not going to be very long. Because if you say, give it, 18 seconds a lap, 50 laps, you're looking at 3-ish laps a minute, 3 to 4 laps a minute. That's going to go quick. Shocked him in him face. Man, they're making use of those zipline cameras. They can't. So in NASCAR, if I remember correctly, what you said is they can't do ziplines over the racetrack normally, right?
you mean cameras on yeah, well, they did it once, and then during a race the camera fell on the track at Charlotte. And so never mind with that.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to let them.
So now they do the drone cams.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if they're going to if they're doing zipline cameras because they're in the Coliseum and they're already like rigged for it.
maybe.
It's still the biggest impact that the XFL has ever had on sports. Because the first gen XFL is the where the cable cam debuted.
Did it? That sounds familiar.
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, Vince McMahon owns the company that like has the patent and stuff on those, or he not owns it. He owns part of it. Or at least he did at one point. I think he may have lost it during the bankruptcy stuff with the XFL.
I'm gonna take AJ Allmendinger Twin Heat 3. We're obligated to pick Michael McDowell the Twin Heat 4.
Hey, he was fast. He looked confident out there. I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to win his heat. Probably won't win the race, but So that went fast. We're only
What time is it?
8:30.
Basically an hour.
Yeah, not too bad. I think it's gonna be a fun race, and I'm glad to see NASCAR experimenting with race formats because I think that's something that, like, I think some tracks don't lend themselves to just long races, and I think that's something that we could, start seeing more of in the future. And exhibition races are fun. Exhibition races like this are fun too.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how long the race tomorrow actually lasts. But if I could make the decision, I would probably have made this a 200 lap main event instead of 150, just because of the chances that it will just go by so fast.
Yeah, although I don't know, part of me is like almost a little bit worried about the racing surface, just because it's a temporary thing that got put in, so there's definitely some questions. So I wonder if that played in at all.
I don't think they'll have any problems with the track. But well, Aaron, I'm for shorter races. I fall asleep most races halfway. Well, no, I outside of basically the crown jewel races, the Daytona, Coke 600, Southern 500, and basically Bristol, Martinsville. I'm for shorter races. There doesn't need to be a 500-mile race in Texas or Atlanta. There just doesn't.
Definitely not Texas.
Definitely not Texas. But hey, who cares? Like, because NASCAR shortened the spring Martinsville race from 500 to 400 laps to accommodate it being a night race, when really you need to move the start time back a little bit, from 7:30 to maybe 6:30, and there you fix your problem. Because I would rather have 500 laps in Martinsville than 400. Everywhere else, should have shorter races. If it's 400, make it 300 miles. If it's 500, make it 400. It typically makes just better races. So outside of the crown jewels. So yeah, qualifying is over. How you been, Crow? This is the first time we've talked in 3 months, face to face.
I've just been very busy and working way too many hours, but hopefully that's behind me now. Just in time for us to start our second year of this venture.
And so to Aaron, hopefully, if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Also, subscribe to our podcast, Dropping the Hammer with Daniel McFadden, on your favorite podcasting platform. Just a couple days ago, we released the podcast version of a 90-minute interview I did with AJ Allmendinger last year, which I did for Speed Sport Magazine for the December issue. But it was a 90-minute interview. It was a great interview. So please, which we also published here on our YouTube account, so you can watch it if you want.
Yeah,
but please,
we're experimenting with streaming and trying to figure out. So I'm Daniel. You know, he's a professional journalist. I am not. I'm a software developer, and I have very little in the ways of free time. So we're kind of experimenting with some of what we do here, trying to make it, build up a little bit more of a community, have a little bit more interaction, and So I appreciate you coming by and being active in the chat. Same with you, Sam. It's been a long time since we've talked. It's good to see you, and same with you, Rolando.
Rolando says this track feels like Monaco. Someone else made that comparison, either today or yesterday. I can't remember. Someone tweeted a picture of the Monaco course and said the way these cars navigate turns to be interesting to see if they could do the Monaco track. So Rolando, same thing I said to Aaron, please subscribe to the channel, to our podcast, Dropping the Hammer with Daniel McFadden on your favorite platform.
And like I said, we appreciate you guys coming in and talking to us. We're trying to figure stuff out, trying not to kill ourselves, but also do stuff that's fun. And Daniel, are you still publishing on Front Stretch, Daniel, your column?
I published a column today.
Okay. Yeah.
So yes, check out my writing at frontstretch.com, guys. I published a column today called "Ready or Not, Here Comes the Clash." So check that out. So, but yeah, this was a good test run. Anyway, I don't know how often we're gonna be able to do this. Because I will be in Daytona covering the Daytona 500. I'll be there for a full week, Tuesday through Tuesday here in a couple weeks. So I'll be there for Front Stretch and potentially Speed Sport. Thank you, Rolando. Thank you, Aaron. Thanks for keeping us company on a preview night for what will be hopefully a fun race tomorrow. So
cool. Thanks.
I'm back, I guess.
Cool. So I think it's time to sign off. But again, thank you, Sam.
Right,
thank you,
Sam.
Rolando. Thank you, Aaron. And if you're still listening to my wife, thank you for helping us out.
Okay.
Cool.
So the 5 concurrent viewers. So
hey,
hopefully
that's great. Our podcast sometimes that's we have more streaming than.
Please don't say that.
Okay.
I didn't need to hear
we
that.
gotta do times 10. So we'll say our podcast are 50. But cool. All right.
I have to use the restroom now. So let's
Cool.
I'm gonna
We're
end
shutting
this
it
stream.
down.
Thanks,
Y'all have a
guys.
good night.